Hello guys, in our previous class we've learned about what Python is being used for, and we also talked a little about string. I told you that text is string in Python. So in this class we are going to learn more about string. We're going to learn about the method and how to write a string. So the first thing you need to do is this: you come to Google, then you type collab research. So I told you that for you to write your code, you need somewhere to write it. So and Google actually provide a means in which we can actually write our code, which is the Google Colab. But if you are using the Jupyter Notebook, you can also use it. If you're having it, you can use it. You can use the Jupyter Notebook, the VS Code, and so on. So I'm going to be using the Google Colab now. So I'm going to click on this first link here, which is Welcome to Collaboratory. So if I actually click on it now, it will bring me to this page. So I'm going to cancel this place. Then you come here to File. Then you click on New Notebook. So now, the first thing I need to do here is this. I need to change the title. So all what I need to do is come to this title, then remove the untitled and call it class 2. Yeah. So now, whenever you want to write string in Python, you can actually start with a single quote or a double quote or even a triple quote. So I'm going to start with a single quote first. So whenever you want to write a string, you start with a single quote, then put your text inside it, then you close it with a single quote. So if I actually run this code now, it's going to connect here. So the first one will actually take a while others it will be fast. Okay, now we actually got our result now as DG. So you can also use a double quote. Let me just use a dial. Then you close it also with a double quote. If I run it now, it will give me the results. So this is one of the mistakes that you might actually make. You can actually, if you start with a double quote and you try to close it with a single quote, this will actually give you an error. So whenever you start with a double quote, you must also end it with a double quote. So that is one of the basic rules there. So now you can also assign all these values, all these string values. If you actually want to check the type, just type, then put the value inside it. So if I actually want it now, it will tell me that okay, this is a string. So whenever you want to check for the data type of any value in Python, just type the type, then in brackets put the value there. It will actually give you whether it's a string or not. So now we can also assign these values into a variable name. A variable name is more like a label that you actually give to something. So let's say for instance, you can have a variable name as a name to be equals to DG. So whenever I call name, it will reference DG. So it will bring out DG. So can you see that it's working fine now? And if you don't want to, the reason why I'm running this without the print function is because I'm in Google Colab. So if you're in your VS Code, you can just use print name. So it will still give you the same results. So the only difference is that if I'm running it without print, this quote will still be there. But if I'm running it with print, the quote it won't be there. So that is the major difference there. So let's get our first name. Let's call it to be equals to DG. So now, if you're having a name, in string, there are some methods that you can actually use with string value. And what do I mean by method? Let's say for instance, you actually write your name in small letter and you want to change it to a capital letter. You don't need to rewrite it again. There are some methods in Python that allows you to change it into a capital letter. So for you to change it to a capital letter, all what you need to do is just type the variable name, first name, then dot upper. So if I actually call it now, it will give me DG in capital letter. So if you have any name as well in small letter, in capital letter, let's say dial, and you want to change it to small letter, there is a method in Python for that as well, which is you just last name dot lower, then you close it with two brackets. If you actually run it now, it will give you the name in small letter. So I'm going to print out all the method now that is associated with the string. So all what I need to do is I'll just say dir, then I'm going to pass in the variable name or the value of that string. So let me just pass in the value there, dir. If I run it now, it's going to give me all the method associated with the string. So we are going to be using some method here in the next 3 minutes. So now let's say that we are having a title, that is a job title. Let me call it job. So it's a shoemaker. Shoemaker. If I actually run it now, it's going to run. Then if I call on job, if you actually observe very well, you'll see that when I was writing this, I left a space here. And if you actually look at it very well, you see that there is a space here. So this kind of error can actually occur. Whenever you are entering your data, you might actually put some space. So you need to remove this space. So if you actually want to remove this space, if you look at this space very well, you see that it's at the left hand side. So if you want to remove it, there is a method in Python for that, which is the left strip. So if I actually come down here, you see that we have the left strip. So the left strip is being used to remove space at the left hand side. So all what I need to do is I'll just say job, which is a reference to this value dot left strip. So if I run it now, it's going to remove that space. So I can now save it to a new variable name, new job equals to this. So whenever I call on new job now, new job, I'm going to get the correct without space, the correct name without space. So now what if the space is at the right hand side? What do we use? Let's define another variable name. Let's call it job2 equals to let's say baker. So if I actually run it now and I call on job2, you'll see that there is a space in front of it. So how do we remove it? So let's go back to our code. Because the space is in the left, we use the lstrip. Now the space is in the right hand side, so we are going to use the rstrip. So that will be job2. We're going to say job2 dot rstrip, then include it with 2 brackets. So if I actually run it now, it's going to remove the space. Now let me just give you a little assessment. Let's call it job3 to be equals to. Now I'm having the text now. There is a space at the left hand side, so let's call it cooker, and there is also a space at the right hand side. So just pause the video and try to solve this. To solve this, we can actually use 2 methods. So the first method is that we can actually use the rstrip, which I taught you earlier, rstrip. So if I actually run it now, it will remove the space by the right hand side. So we can save it in a variable name. Let's call it a new job 3. So if I run it now, it's going to run. So if I call on new job 3 is going to give me the name. It's going to give me the name. So we've removed the right space there. So to remove the left, we just need to call on the lstrip. So if I actually run it now, it will remove the left space. We can actually save it now. Let's call it a new job 3. So we can actually assign it. So if I actually assign it to new job 3, which is the same thing as this one, so this is going to overwrite this. So if I actually run it now, it's going to run. So if I call on new job 3 now, new job 3 now, so you can see that it has overwrite this one. But there is a better way to do it. So let's call our job 3 again. So we still have the space here, and we also have the space here. So one of the fastest way to remove it is that we say job3.strip. So there is a method called strip. So and what strip does is that it removes the space. So this is strip. So it will remove the space from both the left hand side and the right hand side. So if I actually run it now, you'll see that it has removed the space. So that is all about this class. So in the next class, we are going to learn more. Thank you so much.